Hello everyone, this is gonna be a tutorial about sound replacement and overall sound modding in Ace Combat 7. And for this you're gonna need some utilities, which is gonna be, of course, Unreal Engine 4.18.3, which you can find in the Epic Games Store. You are also going to need F-Model, Unreal Pack, Wwise Unpacker, BNK Editor, which I'm gonna link in the description, and Wwise itself. Now, this is kind of a problematic topic because, this version has been delisted from the official Wwise launcher, so there is no official way of getting it. So I will also upload this and link this in the description. So you have to download this and extract the folder, and you'll be able to use Wwise as intended. So, with that aside, you also need to download the soundproject.7z file, which is the Unreal Engine project, which I have prepared in advance. It already has the Wwise project integrated into it. That is to avoid some issues which are caused by the fact that this version is no longer supported and is delisted, and most of the things just cannot be done in the Wwise launcher anymore. So you unzip the project, you go in the folder and open it in Unreal Engine, which is gonna take some time, but well, I'm gonna skip until it opens, and we're gonna continue when it does. Okay, so it opened and we are greeted by this message. You press yes, and now you have to find the Wwise project and the Wwise Pro Windows installation path. Here you need to find the folder where you unzipped your Wwise archive. And you need to find. Okay, so yeah, just open this folder and select folder. Then the Wwise project path. You need to find the folder of this project, the Unreal project which you have. And inside this folder is the sound project _Wwise project folder. And you scroll down and open this. You can close this for now. And with that aside, you can close this window and we can move on to this next phase. As for the next phase, I want to make it clear first that we're gonna be going over two different sound replacement methods. The first one is sort of more flexible and modular, but it doesn't apply to all of the sounds in the game, so it's more flexible, but at the same time it's kind of more limited because it mostly applies to weapon sounds, environment sounds, and I think, things like that. Either way, we need to open the Wwise project. Okay, I'm sorry. You need to open it through the Wwise application, which is the same executable which I have shown before. This. And now we see this view. In here you already have one soundbank, which includes one sound effect for testing purposes. Yeah, sorry if it was too loud, but yeah. Okay, so now we need to import an audio file, which, let's say, you want to replace something with. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, I forgot that MP3 was not supported. So yeah, you need to have an AMB or mid or wave file. So you just select a file or several, as many as you want to add. You edit and just press import. Make sure that it's sound SFX, and yeah, you don't gotta change anything in here, just import it. So we're gonna have the sound here. You can manipulate the loudness, the volume, low pass, high pass, etc. You can also set it to loop an infinite or finite amount of times. After this, after you have the sound prepared and imported, you need to create a play event and the stop event, which is done simply by right-clicking the sound in here, new event, play. It's gonna be added in this window. And then, new event, stop, which is not always necessary. I think it's usually for looping sounds really, but it doesn't, having one if it's not necessary, I think it doesn't really harm anyway. So you have the play event and the stop event. After you have created play events for all the necessary sounds, we need to create a sound bank, which is done by going to layouts, sound bank, and here you can see the test sound bank, which has been already created, which contains the beam rifle sound for testing purposes. We want to create a new sound bank, which we're gonna name Mambo Bank, or literally anything else, whatever you want. And you need to select this sound bank. Platforms: Windows, English. Select this one. Drag the select this two and drag into this window, or as many events as you want to add to the sound bank. After that, make sure that you have Windows and English selected. You will be able to generate the sound bank. Just press this and it will do everything it needs to do. Now we can go back to actually we need to save this first, Ctrl S. Then we can go back to Unreal. Then sound banks, we need to right click, audio kinetic bank, name it the same thing you had named the sound bank in Wwise, Mambo bank. Then here under build you need to generate sound banks, Mambo bank, and Windows, and generate. After that you open this and save. Then we need to go to the SFX folder, and if I recall correctly, I need to go to Window, Wwise Speaker. In here, in Events Default Work Unit, you're gonna have the play and stop events. You gotta select these and drag and drop them into this SFX folder. Then open each of them and select the required bank, which is the same bank you place them in. And after that you need to go to File and Cook Content for Windows, which is sort of finalizing the files for Unreal Engine to use and read and etc. This is gonna take some time. It might be a couple minutes, it might take a longer while for the first cooking session, but yeah, after it's done we're gonna move to Unreal Pack. Before it's done we can prepare the folder structure, because we are now going to be actually packing the mod. So we need to go create a new folder, which is gonna, okay, cooking complete. So yeah, we need to create a new folder which is gonna have the mod's name. Let's say yeah, let's say for example EML sound to Mambo. Let's say we're gonna replace the EML firing sound to this, and make sure to add _p to the folder name, because otherwise the game will simply ignore the mod. So yeah, do not remove the _p suffix. So open this folder, create another folder named Nimbus, which is the internal name of Ace Combat 7. if you don't do this, it's also gonna just ignore the mod and not read it. Then in here, content and Wwise assets. Also, since we are replacing the EML sound, we're gonna have to create folders: blueprint, weapons, player, base. Because this is where the game stores the EML file, the file that is responsible for the EML and the sounds it makes, the stats, etc., etc. So we already have the project's cooked files. You need to go to the project folder, saved, cooked, Windows no editor, sound project, content, Wwise assets, and you can just copy everything, all of this, into the Wwise assets folder which we created. So yeah, here we have the play mambo and stop mambo sound events, which we are going to use to replace the EML sound. In fact, for the EML, we're only gonna need the play mambo event. The stop mambo is just, I don't know, it's just there. We don't need it really. We can actually delete it, but I don't know, I'm gonna keep it. So yeah, now we need to actually get the EML file. So we're gonna open fmodel. We need to in archive directory we need to select the game folder, which is a Steam Apps Common Ace Combat 7. UE versions should be game _ Ace Combat 7. Also, you need to enter an AES code somewhere. I forgot where actually. Okay, I think it's here. Yeah, this is the AES key you need to enter. I'm gonna also drop it in the description. After that, you're gonna be able to open the Ace Combat 7 files. The ones you need are, and the ones that you most probably will only have are these ones, the pack chunk ones. The rest are just mods I have installed. So we need to select these, press load, and in here you will be able to go to Nimbus, content, blueprint, weapons, player, base, packages, and okay, actually we can just save the entire folder. Right click and export folders, packages, raw data .usat, and it's gonna do that. And by clicking this, you can open the output directory, which should be right next to the fmodel folder. But oh yeah, okay. You also can set this. You can set up the output folder, and I already have some things in here, so just ignore them. Nimbus, content, blueprint, weapons, player, base, PLWP _EML. This is the default EML, which is only the F18F and the Su33. We gotta open it once because it's encrypted at first, and it needs to be decrypted, and we can immediately close it. And then we gotta copy it and go back to the Unreal Pack folder, then the mod folder, Nimbus, content, blueprint, weapons, player, base, and paste it here. Then oh yeah, we're also gonna need USAT GUI, which I'm also gonna link. You need to open this with USAT GUI, and you also need to have 4.18 selected in here. So yeah, you need to go to the name map, and you're gonna find the SFX line. There are in total 2 SFX lines, which is the first one is the location of it, and the other one is just the name. So we're gonna replace it with the location of this file, the play mambo, which is game Wwise SFX special weapon. No, not special weapon, just SFX play _ mambo. which is gonna be the name of your play event. Then we scroll down to find the corresponding name, which is the SPWP over EML shoot, and we'll replace it with PLAE_Mambo. Hit enter and save by pressing Ctrl S. You can see the results in here. You're gonna see the sound is the one-shot sound event is play Mambo, and in the import data as well you can see the location has been replaced with this, and the name has been replaced with wherever it is. There. So yeah, we save this file and close it. As you can see, it will create two .bag files, which are basically the previous version of these two files backed up. You can delete these and rename these two. Just remove the bag suffix if you want to revert to the previous version, but we don't really need this, so we can just straight up delete it. And after this, we need to go back to the Unreal Pack folder, and then we can drag and drop onto the one of the Unreal Pack batch files. I usually do with compression, but this is kind of a small file. It doesn't really matter in this case, but sometimes the files might get pretty large, so it is generally recommended to just do with compression. And it's gonna do its thing, and press any key to continue. And we have our file, which is the EML_sound_Mambo_p.pack, which is the mod file, which will then go to the the game folder, content packs. We need to create a folder named ~mods if you don't have it already. Then we copy this and paste it in here. And now it should work. We are now I'm gonna just test it and demonstrate it. Okay, as you can see, it doesn't really work for some reason, which means that I messed something up, so I'm gonna go double check and get back to you. Okay, yeah, I made a little oversight, I forgot something. So we need to go to the Unreal project folder. Then instead of save, we also need to go to the content folder. And here we're gonna have the Wwise audio. We need to copy it and paste it right next to these two folders inside the content folder. Now we need to go in here, go into Windows, and we can see the mambobank.bnk file, and we need to delete everything else except for that one. So delete everything and keep the Soundbank. Then go to Unreal Pack, drag and drop it onto the batch file, copy it into the mod folder, and let's try it again. Okay, so we're back in the game, and as you can see, it works as intended. Now, this is one of the methods that you can use to replace sounds, and as said earlier, it's kind of limited to a specific number of sound effects, which are the following. So, the ambient sound effects, the mission-specific sound effects, the background music, which is kind of a tricky task, really. I do not recommend trying this unless you actually know what you're doing. And this SFX folder, this entire list. AI weapon, which is the NPC weapons, these E3 sound effects, this specific HUD sound effect, which is pretty sure used in multiplayer, Link, these mission specific sound effects, and these special weapon sound effects. As you can see, this doesn't really include sound effects like the incoming missile warning, the lock-on alert, the pull-up warning, the caution alert, etc. And for some reason, it seems that the sounds don't really have a Wwise event attached to them, or if they do, then they are really well hidden, and I spent a couple days searching for them, and even before that I have searched for them as well, but I could not find a single trace of them. So for this kind of sounds, we are gonna have to resort to the second method, which is I think it's okay. Yeah, it's not gonna need Unreal Engine anymore. We can safely close it, and but we are going to need Wwise. So basically, we're gonna have to import the sounds the same way. And I think it's also necessary to create a play event because no, okay, I'm gonna explain why later. So yeah, for the second method, we are going to need to directly inject new sound effects into the existing sound bank. For this, we need to go to UModel, open it. Once again, open these files, load. Now we need to go to Content, Wwise Audio, Windows, and here you see a whole bunch of sound banks. Here we can just you know, save the entire folder, but it's gonna fill up quite some space, like a couple of gigabytes, pretty sure. So we can settle for just unpacking the. Well, you know what? Let's just unpack the whole thing. Also, yeah, we need to press specifically export folders, packages, raw data as USZ, even though it's not actually gonna export to USZ in this case. And it's also gonna take some time, so we're gonna wait, and I'm gonna skip until it's after it's done. Okay, it's done, so we can open the output directory again. Export, Nimbus, content, Wwise audio. What the hell is this? Okay, I'm not sure if this is an intended effect, but okay, this is Colendol, but we can ignore this, and we need to go to the Windows folder, and what we actually need is in here. So the game sound effects are stored in the game_.bnk file and the PCK as well, but this is the one we need. So now that we have this unpacked, we can go back to actually, okay, yeah, we need to go to BNK editor, and we need to open the BNK file, which is game_se.bnk. Now we can save the BNK as, and this is actually a better way to export the BNKs, the sound banks for contents than actually using the Wwise unpacker. For some reason, this one kind of exports them in a very random order, and the export order and IDs are always random for some reason. And BNK editor always export them in a set order. The order doesn't change, so it's a lot easier to actually keep track of the IDs, which is pretty important because the sound effects are not stored with their actual names. The only names in quote marks they have are their IDs, so it is important that they don't change. So we need to save. Okay, let's say where do I want to export? F here. Sound guide. Export from BNK. Save. Oh wait, no. Fuck, I'm doing something wrong. Hold on. We need to save all WEMs as. Sorry for the confusion. This is going to actually save the contents of the sound bank, as in the individual audio files. After we have done this, we can go back to the. Okay, we can see this folder here, and we can see this whole bunch of WEM files, which are the audio files, but they are encrypted and we cannot play them for now. And to be able to actually play them, we need to copy them and this is where the Wwise unpacker is needed. Not to actually unpack, but it actually converts the WEM files into WAV files or MP3, but WAV is objectively better, so we're gonna create test_raw folder to place this in. We'll paste them in. There's a whole bunch, so after that we need to open the unpack WAV path file, and it's just gonna convert to the WAV file format. It creates the test WAV folder, and it's gonna be saving converted files into here. And it's been a little while, and it's done converting. And as you can see, we have all the 967 files converted to WAV. And this isn't exactly absolutely necessary to the process of replacing the files, but just for convenience, it's good to have the raw files to actually cross-check and listen and compare the IDs to. So I have a bunch of IDs written down, which is mostly for the warning sounds and alert sounds and etc. Well, it's not really IDs, it's just this first 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever amount of numbers is the save order. The actual ID of the sound is the second half. So, for example, what I have written down as 112 lock warning, its actual ID is 11, 56, 71, 299, and which is why, okay, let's say we want to replace the what do I want to replace? Let's say we want to replace the pull-up sound and the caution sound. In this case, we're gonna need to find for the third sound, and its ID is 44, 25, 83, 230. So we need to manually find this ID in here. Fortunately, they are actually ordered, so as in alphabetically, so it's gonna be right here. 44, 25, it's okay, not here, a bit lower. 44, 25, this is the one. Now we need to replace the WEM file with the new sound that you want to replace it with, but the catch is that you can't replace it with a WAV file either. We actually need a WEM file as well. So if you have a WEM file from, I don't know, another unpacked file, then you can just go select that one. But if you want to replace it with a new file like your own, in this case, this is exactly why we need the play event in here. We need to import the sound effect into Wwise, and we need to create the play event, which in turn makes Wwise generate a WEM file for the sound effect. If you just import it into Wwise, pretty sure it doesn't create a WEM file and until you create the play event. So yeah, you just have to do that. Then you need to find it in the sound project, Wwise project, .cache, Windows, SFX, and this is where the sound is. So yeah, we need to copy this directory. We need to, oh, where the hell was it? 4425. Yeah, we need to replace when with. Go here and select this one. It will have the name of the replacing sound in here. You can press cancel to undo this, and it will just revert to the default sound instead. And next, if you want to replace the caution sound as well, that means 859. It means we need to find the 859 sound. 859 in here. The ID is this, so we need to find this ID in here. 9426. It's gonna be lower. 9426. This is the one. Replace when with. We can select this exact one. Open. And after this, we can actually go to I don't know, for example, we can go to the Unreal Pack folder, create a new folder, which is Ammo for pull up and version _p Nimbus content Wwise audio, and this is where we need to actually save this file. Save bnks, paste this location, and you need to actually write down the file name, which has to be game_se.bnk, and save. As you can see, it's right here, and we can then go back here, drop it onto Unreal Pack with compression. It's gonna do its thing. It's gonna pack the entire Soundbank, and this is actually kind of a problematic point because it's gonna be replacing the entire Soundbank. So if there are other mods that use this exact method, then your mod is not gonna be compatible with them. So it's gonna be either or, either yours or theirs. So keep this in mind. So we have this sound here, and we need to paste it in the mod folder. And I have the F18 sounds file mod installed, which is incompatible with this one, so I have to delete it. And now that we have this prepared, we can actually go into the game and test it out. Okay, so I seem to have made another mistake. I'm gonna try to fix it, but neither of the sounds were replaced, and I also noticed that I replaced the wrong sound for the pull-up sound. So it's not this, it's actually, the hell is it? 4328. It's way up here. It's right here. Replace with save bnks. Okay, that sounds correct. Save. I'm gonna double check and see what else could have gone wrong in there. Oh yeah, my bad. So like inside the Wwise audio, we need to actually create a folder named Windows and drop the Soundbank into it. Well, I think, hold on. Yes, I double checked, and that is indeed correct. So we're gonna pack the mod again, drag and drop, wait. Press any key, copy it into, okay, hold on. Okay, copy it into the mods folder, replace, and then we can start the game again. So we're back in the game, and as you can see, we have achieved Mambo. Unfortunately, even though the second method is not compatible with other mods that use the second method, it's actually compatible with the first method, so our Electro Mambo launcher is intact. Mambo! Yeah. Also, do note that these sound effects, caution, pull up, this kind of vocal warnings, they're relatively quiet to everything else, so if you want them to be kind of louder, then you're gonna have to edit them in, for example, Audacity. I tried to raise the volume in Wwise as well, and in my experience it didn't really work. It still was really quiet, so I recommend doing it in Audacity instead, just to be sure. And if you have to, well, for example, in this case we have duplicating sound effects. If you have the same sound effect for something that is not the vocal warning and something that is the voice warning, it's better to have two copies, one louder, one quieter. And I think that covers most of it. Like, that's about it, I think. So thank you for listening, and if you are curious about some different aspects of Ace Combat modding, we actually have a whole lot of guides and resources on the Ace Combat modding wiki, which I will link in the description. And also all the same information is also stored in the Nimbus Company Discord server. You can join by the link in the description. In there you can also receive support in case something goes wrong and in case you have questions. So yeah, we'll be glad to help. So thanks for watching and good luck with your modding.